episode of the JoeyH podcast. Today, we got our sports analysis show. With us, always for that show, my co-host, Lucas. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. I just want to emphasize that this week was Lucas's birthday. So, Lucas, happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So, to start off with this show, we're going to start off with UFC 300. That is April 13th in Las Vegas. I just want to emphasize how far the UFC has come.
It's insane. It's
It
insane.
has it is insane. Like, this company is only 30 years old, and I mean, like, if we consider how down bad the UFC was at one point,
Oof.
I mean,
Or-
like I mean, because I started following the UFC when I was 10 years old, and I've really got to watch this thing grow into
Yeah.
something that I don't think you and I would have ever imagined it.
I started following the UFC around like 14, I think. Um, it was right after the Conor McGregor Jose Aldo fight. I
Okay.
started following. Because I saw it on Sports Center. I was like, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So I started following it. And so just to see the company, it's not a perfect company, but it's so it's so cool. It is so cool to see how far they've come and how just explosive it's become. Like everybody knows the UFC now. Everybody's a fan
Yes.
of the UFC now.
Yeah, I mean, I remember it came to a point like when I was in middle school, the UFC was like the only thing like I ever wanted to watch, talk
Yeah.
about, like, and when I was like, when middle school, like, everyone has the rough times in middle school. When I was going through that, man, I'm just thinking during the week, I'm like, you know what? I'm going through a rough time right now, but Saturday there's a fight night, there's a pay-per-view,
Yeah.
I'm like, if I can I'll just, just hang on, man. This weekend, get to chill and watch UFC, man,
Yeah.
it's a, and man, I got that got me through middle school. It got me through high school too, man,
Yeah.
so yeah. But we got UFC 300, and I just want to give out my predictions for the title
Yeah.
fights. We got the BMF title on the line with Justin
That's
Gaethje
great
defending
fight.
it.
Great fight.
Now, it is kind of a hard fight to predict because both Justin Gaethje and Max Holloway are extremely unpredictable fighters.
And just
But
tough dudes. They're tough dudes.
yeah, they are tough. I I am gonna go though. Justin Gaethje retains the BMF title. I just think that he, I feel like, and look, again, that fight can go either way, but I have a feeling that Justin Gaethje will be able to weather the storm. But let's take nothing away from Max Holloway. That guy is a tough dude.
I'm sticking with you. I think Justin Gaethje's gonna win. Max Holloway hasn't fought in a little while. I think it's been a couple years. And
Yes.
this is, I mean, he's had a lot of time to prepare, but this isn't his weight class.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Gaethje is just so strong and so used to that fight of like those big 5 round fights,
Yes.
going the distance. Um, I mean, the only time we've seen him really get uh abused is against Habib, and I mean
Yeah.
that's Habib. So I think Justin Gaethje's really gonna, like you said, weather the storm, and I think he's gonna take care of it.
All right.
Yeah, next title fight: Zhang Wei Li versus Yan Zhonan. Zhao, I think I'm saying that right.
Yeah, I didn't know how to pronounce it either.
Uh, Zhang Wei Li is just gonna
Yeah. Yeah,
bulldozed it.
Whaley's a tough fighter. I remember the first time, I think the first time I ever heard of her was in 2019 when she beat Jessica Andrade to win the title
Mhm.
the first time, and
Yeah,
then she defended it against Joanna,
that was an
which
amazing fight. That was amazing.
amazing fight. We watched it together,
Yeah, I remember we watched it together. That was insane. That was insane.
but I mean, look, my personal opinion, I think Joanna won that fight, but
Too.
it's
Me too.
okay. But again, John Wei Lee, as tough as they come. One of the best women fighters there are. And for the main event, we got Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill. Ooh, this
I think
I got
Alex.
Jamal Hill
I
winning.
got Alex, dude. I got Alex.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Jamal Hill, I know he hasn't fought in I believe it's been 15 months since he's fought.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I see what he can do. And
He's a
this is
good
a,
fighter. He's a good fighter. A lot of people sleep on him. He's a good fighter, but dude, Alex, he's a beast, bro. Like
exactly.
the way he's put people out and just excuse me, his IQ has gotten so much better. Like his fight IQ has gotten so much better. His kicks are insane. Um, and just he's such a big man. I don't know. I don't know.
I know.
I think it's going to be a close fight. I don't think it's going to be one
Oh
sided.
yeah.
Um, I know Jamal's going to be hungry to get the belt back,
Hmm.
but we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
some other notable fights: Charles Oliveira versus Armin. I
From
can't say that.
Turkey, I believe he's from.
Yeah, no, he's from Armenia. Um,
Armenia.
I'm excited for that. I want Charles Oliveira to win. Another notable fight is the first fight of the night. Devson Figueredo versus Cody Garbrandt. I know I butchered his name. I'm sorry. Uh, That's the first fight of the night. That's insane.
Yo. Oh, see, Cody Garbrandt. I'm a no love fan. Cody
I'm
no
a no
love.
love fan, dude.
I'm
No
a
love.
huge no love fan. I think Cody Garbrandt would be Davison Figueiredo. That's Cody Garbrandt's knockout power is something I've never seen.
It's insane. It's insane. That's I think Calvin Carter versus Aljamain Sterling. That'll be all right. That'll be a
Of
good fight to
course.
watch. Um, another notable fight. Yeah, that's all the notable fights I really am looking forward to
Well,
watch.
there is the first fight of the pay-per-view, Bo Nickel
Bo
versus
Nickel,
Cody
yeah, yeah, Bo
Brundage.
Nickel.
Now,
Um,
I think Cody Garbrandt's excuse me. I think Bo Nickel is gonna win that. Bo Nickel has had five total fights, I believe, and all of them he's won, and all of them he's won in the first round.
yeah,
So Bo Nickel is nothing to be played with.
I
My
think yeah.
my dad actually got a chance to listen to Bo Nickel when he was on the Joe Rogan podcast,
Mhm.
and Bo Nickel, like his training, it's unlike anything
Yeah.
else. And he said after my fights, I think he said after my fights, I go to In-N-Out Burger, and that's it. And he actually, because he wrestled at Penn State, one of the
Yeah.
best collegiate wrestlers we've ever seen.
Three-time NCAA champion, two-time Hodge winner, I'm pretty sure, or at least a one-time Hodge winner. Um, he's a monster.
Yeah, I wrestled in high school. I didn't follow like collegiate wrestling that much.
Mhm.
However, um, I did, I do know of Bo Nickel. I didn't know he won a three times national champion.
He was
That's
almost a
insane.
four-time, but when he was a freshman, he wrestled a guy from Ohio State. I forget his name, but that was a good match. That was a good wrestling match too. And if you get the chance to watch it, it's really good. He almost won. He almost was a four-time NCAA champion, but uh,
Yeah,
three's nothing to shy away from.
yeah, and and he also I believe he opened, yeah, he opened an MMA gym in State College, Pennsylvania. So when college wrestlers, graduate, or whenever they're done wrestling, they can go transition into MMA.
Yeah, a lot. That's like a big thing now. That's a big thing now.
Exactly. Now, moving on to the NFL. Got NFL trades. This past month has been
Same.
insane. Um,
20 minutes ago, Stephon Diggs going to the Texans.
okay, Stephon Diggs. Um, I got a chance. I got a chance to watch him play against the Dolphins here when he was with the Bills. And yeah, Stephon Diggs, he is an amazing receiver.
Mhm.
However, it's unfortunate that him and Josh Allen, they don't necessarily have the best chemistry.
Yeah,
Um, but Stephon Diggs, I remember when he was back in Maryland and then he went to the Vikings and even with the Bills, like he's a he's a beast, you
he's
know?
one of those like top five receivers in like everybody's list. Like
Exactly. And now that he has CJ Stroud, I mean,
that's
the sky's the
exciting. That's
limit.
exciting. I mean, this past year, a lot of people counted them out, and they had a rough start to their season. But I mean, they made it all the way to the playoffs, and I think they won the divisional, or at least no, not the divisional. I'm sorry, they won the wild card. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, they lost to the Chiefs on a missed field goal, but
Yes,
yeah, very unfortunate. Buffalo Bills, Bills Mafia. I
they
still
lost. They've lost a lot of people. I don't know if the Bills are trying to rebuild this year or
that's
what they're trying to
beyond
do,
me. I don't know.
but
Like,
they've lost a good amount of people.
yeah, I mean, look, Buffalo Bills, Bills Mafia. I feel for you guys. You guys lost four Super Bowls in a row in the '90s, and
That was insane.
I know, but look, you guys have what it takes for sure, but just I don't know, just like if you guys are, like you said, rebuild, do whatever you feel is necessary,
Yeah.
whether that would be rebuilding, you know, just whatever you got to do, and I think if they get the right formula, because Josh Allen is an amazing quarterback.
He's a great quarterback. He's a great quarterback.
So I mean, but we'll see. We can, only time will tell. And, the Bills, they did beat my Dolphins, but the Bills, um, hey, Bills Mafia, you guys showed out, when you guys came to Miami. So, yeah. Mac Jones is traded to the Jaguars from New England.
Mm.
He's a Jacksonville native. Okay.
Yep.
Went to the Bowles School, I believe that's how you say it in
Yeah.
Jacksonville. And yeah, I mean, I mean, look, he is probably gonna be Trevor Lawrence's backup,
Yeah.
but hey, he like that's a great quarterback room, in my opinion.
Uh yeah, I think so. I think Mac Jones had a really rough start in New England. I think he was kind of pushed too early. I think there's some people, even though if they are the number one draft pick overall or a second overall pick, I think I think some of them shouldn't be the starting quarterback right away. I think they
Hmm.
should take some time, learn how they like, because there's a big difference, even though if you are the overall pick or a second overall pick,
Yeah.
um, it's a big difference, the NFL and collegiate football. He had a great run in college. I'm pretty sure he went to Iowa State or
No, no,
something.
no, no,
No, no,
no.
no.
He went to Alabama.
Alabama. I'm sorry. I don't know why.
Yeah, yeah. He won the national championship COVID season with them.
That's right. That's right. I don't know why I said he went to Iowa State. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Uh, but yeah, I mean, it's a big jump from collegiate to NFL, and there's a ton of quarterbacks who are overall and don't do well. So that's my
Yeah,
opinion.
I mean, well, he did. So to go, I mean, also to go from Nick Saban to Bill Belichick,
Yeah.
that right there, that's like, I mean, Mac Jones, if he wants to be a coach someday,
Yeah.
oh, I'm sure tons of teams would want to hire him.
Yeah.
Um, but nevertheless, Cam Newton was still with the Patriots when Mac Jones got there in 2021. However,
Yeah.
uh, Cam Newton got released before the season, and Mac Jones became the starter. Um, I believe Jarrett Stidham was ended up having to step in and be the starter in New England. When their season started to fall apart.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mac Jones, he has what it takes, you know.
He can be a good quarterback. He can be a great quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. He only got to start 1 year at Alabama, which it was after Tua left
Yeah.
Alabama. And that's the thing you see with a lot of these guys at Alabama, it only takes 1 year, like for them, all it takes is 1 year of them starting for their draft stock to just go through the roof.
Go through the roof. And we've seen what Alabama quarterbacks can do with Tua. I mean, he's a great quarterback. He's not the best quarterback in the league
Mhm.
by any means, but he is a great quarterback.
Exactly. You could throw that football. Um, Now Justin Fields traded to the Steelers. Now, just
I
when
like that quarterback room. I'm really excited for that quarterback room.
Russell Wilson, I like it. Now, yeah, they traded Kenny Pickett to the Eagles. Look,
That's also going to be a great quarterback room.
yes. Now look, um, just when everyone thought that the Bears might be siding with Marvin Harrison Jr. and drafting him,
Mhm.
they decide to uh get rid of Justin Fields, and now it's gonna be Caleb Williams. And
Yeah.
so look, the Bears, I wish them luck, but I think it's debatable who's gonna really start in Pittsburgh, with
Yeah. You
Fields
know,
and Russell Wilson. Do you go with the veteran, or do you want your young guy to go in there and be backed up by the veteran and have that veteran advice kind of,
yeah. Yeah.
So and yeah, I'm excited. Justin Fields, I remember when he because he was at Georgia for 1 year and then
Mhm.
he transferred to Ohio State. And I remember thinking like, oh my gosh, because I'm a Nebraska fan. This guy's entering the Big Ten,
Yep.
and uh, and NCAA, they granted him immediate eligibility. This was
Yeah.
before the
Yep.
transfer portal. So yeah, he was like something I'd never seen, and he was dominant in college. So yeah, now NFL free agency. Now this has been something something insane. Now Derrick Henry signs with the Baltimore Ravens. I like it.
That's crazy. I didn't
I
hear
like
about it.
it. I
I
like
like that
it.
a lot. I like that a lot.
I mean, yeah, because now, Lamar Jackson, like his run game is amazing. Derrick Henry, like
One of the best.
this is, oh my gosh, I that offense is going to be set this year. They got Zay Flowers. They got uh who else do they have? They got Zay Flowers, Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews.
Mhm.
Um, they got Derrick Henry. They got loads of other receivers. So yeah, this they're going to be stacked. AFC Championship, here they come again. We'll just see if they get uh if they meet the Chiefs again. which Chiefs are making a run every year. But I think I think the Ravens, they got a real chance for a Super Bowl run this year. So yeah.
Mhm.
Now Saquon Barkley, he pulled a bold move. Goes to division rival from the
The
Giants to the
Eagles,
Eagles.
dude, that's crazy. Um, I think the Giants kind of screwed themselves on that.
Yeah,
I think they really hurt their chances of having already a great player and building off that. Um, I don't know what their plan is. I don't know what they plan to do. Um,
I mean, like it disappoints me
yeah,
because like Saquon, like you can tell, like he like at first like he was happy to be a Giant,
yeah.
but now that it's all come to the forefront, I mean
They
he
didn't franchise tag him. They didn't.
like and he's been
They didn't.
complaining
Yeah,
for like I don't even know how long about the pay. And
yeah.
it's
And they
like,
didn't even offer a better contract. I think they did offer him like a decent contract. They offered him a decent contract, but not what he's worth by
of
any.
course. Yeah, and like because he had signed some 1 year deal last off season, and
Mhm.
a lot of running backs have came out and said that like the running back position like is one like I feel like they don't get well like they say they don't get paid enough, and I believe it.
It's a
And
yeah,
running backs are essential. They are, you
yeah.
know. So. And I know you're a Florida State fan, so I decided to include this in this episode. Jameis Winston signs with the Cleveland Browns. Uh, he's going to be Deshaun Watson's backup. He's going to be
I'm all right with that.
a one year deal with the Browns. You know, look, Jameis Winston, he's a team guy. You can
Yeah,
tell he ever since college, like he loves his teammates.
yeah. Any team he goes to, he's gonna make make relationships.
Yeah,
And even if they're losing, like on the Bucks, they were losing a lot. He was still a team guy. He was still like routing up the players, still trying to get everybody's morale up. And that's what he's there for, really. He's a great quarterback. Um, but we'll see how he does in the Browns.
yeah. I mean, we got time for this episode, and one of the examples of how Jameis Winston, I think, is a great team player. But unfortunately, he got criticized for it a lot. This was a couple months ago. It was week 18 against the Falcons. Jamal Williams, who had been with the Lions the year before, he led the NFL in rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, I remember this. I remember this. I know you're talking about.
Yeah, this year with the
Yeah.
Saints, he had zero up until week 18.
Yeah.
And Tyrann Mathieu gets an interception, runs it down to the 1 yard line. He goes down. Okay. Jameis Winston lines up in victory formation after the coach called victory
Yeah.
formation. And now Jameis Winston, just to give some context, he was not the starting quarterback. Derek Carr was. However, he lines up in victory formation and he hands the ball to Jamal.
Yeah.
And instead of taking a knee, and Jamal runs it in for a touchdown. And
I
go
I
ahead.
don't give him any criticize. I don't give him any criticism for that. I fully agree. I mean, the guy went from leading rushing touchdowns to zero.
Hmm,
Um, you want to get everybody involved in the team, even at in any level. You want to get everybody involved. You want to make sure everybody feels like they contribute to winning games. So I don't really see anything wrong with that.
exactly. And I mean, everyone was just dragging Jameis Winston like for that. And
See
my
anything.
thing is like, okay, look, either like and the Falcon coach, he like ripped Dennis
He
Allen. Yeah.
was. extremely pissed. He was
I,
extremely upset with that.
I know, and I'll say this, like Robert Griffin III, I think said this. He said, "Look, even if the score was 41-17 or 48-17, Arthur Smith, the head coach of the Falcons, he was still getting fired.
Yeah, no, no way.
He was
Yeah,
still going to get fired. It didn't matter. And that's why, and Jameis Winston, they asked him, they asked him about it, and he said, look, I apologize to Dennis Allen because, I understand how he, he called victory formation.
mhm.
But, you know, I also explained to him it was a team decision.
Yeah,
Okay. And we all know how much Jamal means to this team. And,
yeah. I mean,
and that's a team guy, in my
yeah,
opinion.
team player. He's
That,
looking out for every teammate, and this teammate that he had wasn't had an off season. He just had a bad season. He just didn't have a good
exactly.
season. That happens all the time. People have a great season, and then the following season,
Yeah.
it's hard to stay consistent all the time. And so,
Yeah. I'll say this, him, the only problem I have with it, the only problem I had was that he lined up in victory formation.
yeah, I
That
get,
was the only problem I had. Okay, probably give the defense time to prepare for it, prepare for a run play instead
mhm,
of just sort of faking them out. But again, really, when you peel back the layers on all of it, it really doesn't matter. Jameis Winston was looking out for his teammate,
yeah,
and if that does not scream leader, team player, I don't know what does. I really don't, because I think that's what a real leader is, a real team player, someone
mhm,
that wants to, you know, like you said, you know, have everybody contribute.
yeah.
So, okay, now moving on to March Madness. I got a chance this week to watch Iowa versus LSU women's basketball. Caitlin Clark
Caitlin
versus
Clark
Angel Reese.
is
Oh,
insane,
she's insane, man.
dude.
I know she's one of a kind, that woman. And that's um, she's declared for the WNBA draft.
Yes,
Obviously, I believe she has another year. Excuse
she
me.
does. She does.
Excuse me. Yeah, because of COVID year, she has another year of eligibility. However, you know, look, if she wants to, she could go to the WNBA draft and be the first pick. And I can confidently say, no matter where she goes, like everyone will be watching. You
Yeah, she's gonna bring viewers to the WNBA, and that's what the WNBA needs. They need viewers. They need people who want to see a WNBA game because I mean that's kind of the big reason the WNBA isn't as big as the NBA is because not a whole lot of people watch it. But Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese bring viewers. I mean, this past game, I mean, that game got more viewers than like any WNBA game, I'm pretty sure.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. And again, women's basketball, and I really am. I'm proud to say it. Women's basketball, has been the best it's ever been. It
Oh
really
yeah.
has,
Oh
and
yeah.
I'm proud to say it because I remember, because my grandfather is a big Notre Dame football, basketball, whatever, you know. And he I remember when I remember when I was younger, I used to watch Notre Dame, whenever I was at his house, it was
Mhm.
Notre Dame football, you know,
Notre Dame basketball,
whenever
whatever.
they were on, and including women's basketball. And Notre Dame women's basketball has been historically great.
Yeah.
And I remember watching Skylar Diggins, you know, Ngumbawale, and them going up against like Notre Dame going up against like Brittany Griner at Baylor, and I'm like, man, like this is pretty entertaining. But whenever I would flip on WNBA in the summer, it wasn't like a lot of crowds, like didn't seem like no one was into it. But now that we got these superstars, and I feel like NIL has provided these women opportunities that they would not have gotten without NIL. I mean, we see Caitlin Clark on State Farm commercials all the time.
Wheaties boxes, dude. Like it's crazy. She is a superstar in Iowa. I've been to Iowa. I've been to Iowa City. She is a superstar.
Yeah, I know. Like, and she's from Iowa as well,
Yes.
so that makes it even better. Now, moving on, we got the final four, men's, this
And women, yeah.
and women's, yes. Um, we got Well, the person I want to talk about is Zach Edey from Brazil, from Purdue.
Purdue. Yep.
He is, I believe he's 7'4", weighs around 300 pounds, from
Dude.
Toronto, Canada. Um, like that guy, he's a beast. He'll be like the next Jokic. Like he's insane. So yeah, like who? Now we got Purdue versus North Carolina State, and it's
UConn
Alabama
versus UConn.
versus UConn. So, who do you have winning those matchups, and then who do you have winning the final?
I believe it's gonna be. I think UConn's gonna be Alabama. I think that's.
Okay.
I think that's gonna happen. I'm really uncertain about the Purdue versus North Carolina State. I'm gonna root for North Carolina State. I hope they win the whole thing, but I wouldn't be surprised if UConn took it home.
Okay. Here's what I got. I got Purdue beating North Carolina State,
Mhm.
and then I got Alabama beating UConn, and then I got Purdue beating Alabama. Now, I'll explain. Now, Um, Purdue, I feel like they're just the more dominant team, with
They
North
are
Carolina State.
insane. They are insane.
Yes, and then when with Alabama and UConn, Nate Oates, the head coach of Alabama,
Mhm.
he's an extremely great coach, and the amount of talent that Alabama basketball has had these last couple years, like J.D. Davidson with the Boston Celtics, Brandon Miller, who was the second pick in last year's draft with the Charlotte Hornets, and like the amount of talent they've been able to pump out these last couple years, and like it just shows me that Nate Oates is just he's a great coach, and he knows how to manage his talent.
Mhm.
So the talent that he has on his team. So, but again, Purdue versus Alabama. The Final Four is in Arizona this year, and
Yep.
just to throw that in there. I got them winning. Um, I got Purdue beating Alabama, and yeah, I think like I said, I think Purdue is just the more dominant team. Okay, so we got North Carolina State versus South Carolina, and UConn versus Iowa. Okay, now straight up, I'm gonna go South Carolina beating North Carolina State because Dawn Staley is again amazing coach, knows how to manage her talent, and
Mhm.
I think she'll be able to make it to the final. And Caitlin Clark, I think, will light it up against UConn.
Mhm.
But UConn's head coach, he also knows how to manage his talent. However, I think Caitlin Clark dominates.
Yeah, I mean, it's two really dominant teams. I mean, UConn women's basketball is another historically great team. Um, but I do think Caitlin Clark will win the whole thing. I think she's going to win the whole thing.
Okay. Um, now, okay, now for the final. Oh, well, you think Caitlin Clark is going to win the final,
Yeah, I think Iowa's gonna win it.
and then
Caitlin
who?
Clark, I think she not only a great player, but she's one of those great players that make everybody else really good.
Okay, and who do you think's going to win North Carolina State versus South Carolina?
I agree with you. I think South Carolina's going to win.
Okay, okay. Yeah, when it comes to the final, I think that's a really tough one for me because South Carolina's team is stacked.
Mhm.
However, you know, I mean, and like, look, just to emphasize, Caitlin Clark is not the whole team,
Yeah.
but she, when she wants to turn it on, she can, and
Mhm.
and we saw it the other night against LSU. Like she is, she's just a all around dominant player. But however, like I think Caitlin Clark, she lost last year in the national championship. I mean, and look, South Carolina, they are undefeated this year, but I think I think Caitlin Clark in Iowa, I think they are I think they're going to win it against South Carolina. So, okay. Thank you guys for watching. This has been an amazing podcast, amazing
Great episode.
show,
Yep.
great episode. Lucas, I will see you next month. Next month, we're going to be covering the NFL draft, and because the NFL draft will have happened by then. So, Lucas, I'll be excited to see your input on that one.
We'll see you then. I will see you then.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Have a good one.